we're focusing on your putting, and you've told us that the main skill you'd like to improve is distance control. Now, how far the ball rolls along the putting green is determined by the speed of the putter head at impact. So this is what we need to focus on. The first thing to do is make sure that your putting stroke isn't holding you back. So there are a couple of key aspects that we want to look at. The first would be the relationship between the length of the backstroke and the follow-through, and the second would be what you might call the tempo or the speed of the putting stroke itself. When it comes to stroke length, the biggest mistakes we can make would be a backstroke that is far too long for the putt that we face, and this means we need to slow down into impact, and this deceleration is quite a difficult thing to control. The other extreme is also true. If we have a backstroke that's too short for the putt that we face, we would have to accelerate very aggressively, which is also difficult to control. So the ideal, as a general rule, is to have a very balanced backstroke and forward stroke length. Now, there are exceptions to this. Some good putters have a slightly shorter follow-through and some have a longer follow-through. But again, as a general rule, we're trying to stay away from the extremes. The simplest way to work on having a balanced stroke would be to have some feedback. So I have a tee in the ground about a grip length behind the ball and another tee about a grip length ahead of the ball. And we're simply going to use these as reference points, so I'm going to swing the putter back and through to each tee. Now, if this is reasonably comfortable, we can also go past the first tee and past the second tee, or stop short of the first tee and short of the second tee. Once we're comfortable that we have a reasonably balanced putting stroke, we'd like to look at the speed of the putting stroke, or what some people might call the tempo. Although there are exceptions, and sometimes you see good putters with short and quick putting strokes, we'd like to develop a putting stroke that feels reasonably smooth and controllable. If we can do this, and the stroke length is reasonably balanced, the only thing we need to alter to change how far the ball is going to travel is the length of the stroke itself, which means the shorter the putt, the shorter the putting stroke, and the longer the putt, the longer the putting stroke. But this is a skill that's best worked on a putting green with some drills. So once we know that technically our putting stroke isn't holding us back, the best thing to do is go to the drills section, find the drills on putting distance control and work through them. So again, the keys to the technique are making sure the backstroke and through stroke are reasonably similar in length, and we're using a tempo that's comfortable and controllable.